You're listening to Commander's Demand with your host, Sports PSP, exclusively on the Grid Network.
Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Sports PSP. Welcome to another episode on Commander's Demand. It's a podcast in which I discuss things surrounding the Washington Commanders. Hope everyone is enjoying a beautiful day. Oh man, sorry folks, I've been out of the podcast for about a week, folks. You know, just a lot of family stuff, a lot of family events. My brother's graduation. Congratulations to my little brother Kenny for graduating law school, Rutgers Law School. He's has tremendous goals and aspirations to becoming a successful lawyer. Wish him nothing but the best. We had his graduation the other day. Tons of family came over, so very happy. That's why, folks, I've been out of work for a little while, but now that I'm back, can't wait to discuss some Commanders news. First and foremost, I want to talk about the schedule, folks. I want to talk about the NFL schedule for the Washington Commanders. On Sunday, September 10th, our week 1 matchup, we have a home game against the Arizona Cardinals. Then week 2, we have to go on the road to face the Denver Broncos. Week 3, we have a home game against the Buffalo Bills. Sunday, October 1st, we have to go on the road to face our rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. Then the following week, Thursday, October 5th, primetime video, Amazon primetime video game between the Commanders and the Chicago Bears. Then Sunday, October 15th, 3 days after my birthday, Washington goes on the road to face the Atlanta Falcons. Then October 22nd, on the road to the New York Giants. Then we have a home game October 29th against the Philadelphia Eagles. Then November 5th, we go on the road to face the New England Patriots. Then Sunday, November 12th, on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. Then Sunday, November 19th, a home game against the New York Giants. Then Thursday, November 23rd, Thanksgiving Day, we go on the road to face the Dallas Cowboys. Then Sunday, December 3rd, we have a home game against the Miami Dolphins. Then week 14th, we have a bye week. Then Sunday, December 17th, we go on the road to face the Los Angeles Rams. Then Sunday, December 24th, we go on the road to face the New York Jets on Christmas Eve. Then Sunday, December 31st, we have a home game against the San Francisco 49ers. And then Sunday, January 7th, no schedule. Sunday, January 7th, no time. We don't know if it's going to be on Fox, CBS, NBC, or whatever. Last home game, and it will be against the Dallas Cowboys. So we only have 2 nationally televised games. Thursday, October 5th, home game against the Chicago Bears, and then on the road, Thanksgiving Day against the Dallas Cowboys. Those are the 2 nationally televised games Washington has according to the schedule. I'm not surprised that Washington does not have that many nationally televised games because, honestly, folks, what is it to sell regarding the Washington Commanders? I've said it before, folks. You know, I hope that with the new ownership, new direction with the organization, number one, we got to clean up house. I've said it before with the new owner, Josh Harris, we have to trust the process. I've been on the record saying that I want Washington to tank the entire season so that they can get their hands on USC's Caleb Williams, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner out of USC. And if we don't get Caleb Williams, then we'll look at North Carolina's Drake May which to me is the consolation prize. Either way, I'm not sold on Sam Howell as the long-term solution at quarterback. I'm sorry, I'm just not. So when I look at the schedule, week 1, we should beat the Arizona Cardinals because Kyler Murray probably won't start until halfway of the season. New head coach, new direction with the Arizona Cardinals. We may lose on the road to the Denver Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos will be better compared to last year because of Sean Payton as the head coach. I believe Russell Wilson will have a better season compared to last year. Last year, that was his worst year of his career. And it can't be much worse if you're looking at the Denver Broncos. Now, I do see us losing to the Buffalo Bills week 3. And of course, I do see us losing on the road to the Philadelphia Eagles. So 1-3. Now, the Chicago Bears, we could beat the Chicago Bears. We could beat the Atlanta Falcons, maybe. On the road against the New York Giants, yeah, we'll lose that one. I see us losing again to Philadelphia. So that makes us like 2-7. Then we look at New England. I do believe we're losing to New England because of their defense. I think Mac Jones, the quarterback, will be in a better situation because of the new offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien. Again, going back to their relationship, their rapport in Alabama, Matt Patricia is no longer calling the plays on offense, thank God. Then we go on the road to Seattle. I think we may lose that one. Then against the Giants, home game, we may win that one. We may win that one. Now, Thursday, November 23rd, against the Dallas Cowboys, that's a tricky one. I remembered a couple years ago, it was 2020 during the pandemic season. That was when Washington won that one 41-16, I think. And that was a blowout game. And look, that was because Dallas had to go without Dak Prescott for the rest of that season. Dak Prescott was injured. I think it was week 3 or week 4 against the New York Giants. Andy Dalton was there at quarterback. I mean, I would love to see Washington win that game, but I don't see that happening. Then we go on the road against Miami. We should lose that one. Then on the road to the Rams, we should lose that one. On the road to the Jets, now that they got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, we should lose that one. Then we lose to San Francisco, and then we may win against Dallas or lose. You know what? I'm going to say lose. So the only games I see is winning: Arizona, Chicago, Atlanta. I could see us winning Atlanta, New York, and maybe Dallas. So we would be at best 5-12 for the rest of the season. At best case, 5-12, which is not what I want. I would like for us to be 3-14 or 2-15, because I've said it before, folks. I want Washington to tank the rest of the season to try to get their hands on Caleb Williams. Now, we all know for a fact Ron Rivera is going to do whatever he can to keep his job, but I believe he's going to lose his job ultimately. And if we win 7 or 8 games this season, then if we're Washington from an organizational standpoint, it puts us in a terrible position because we're not going to get our hands on Caleb Williams. We're not going to get our hands on Drake May. Who else in the draft are we going to get a quarterback? So I think for Washington, we just have to trust the process. Tank the rest of the season. Try to lose as much as possible and put us in the best position possible to get Caleb Williams or Drake May. That is all I'm going to say. I think 5-12. If we're at 3-14 or 2-15, I would love that. That would satisfy me. It would make me tremendously happy because it puts us in the best position to get Caleb Williams or Drake May. So I'm going to leave it at that regarding the schedule. I also wanted to talk about some other interesting news regarding the Commanders. I want to talk about Emmanuel Forbes. Now, as you all know, folks, he was drafted with the 16th overall pick by the Washington Commanders in this year's NFL draft. And even though I recognize his ability to get his hands on the football, his ball hawk skills, the concerns, the doubts about Emmanuel Forbes has been his size. I was reading a little bit from Albert Breer, his Sports Illustrated column. He noted how Forbes, quote, immediately turned heads at Washington's minicamp over the weekend, even drawing comparisons to Dallas Pro Bowl cornerback Trevon Diggs. Let me read a little bit from Albert Breer's Sports Illustrated column. The 16th pick in April's draft came out flying in rookie minicamp with a pick on the first day that reminded one Washington coach of Trevon Diggs in how instinctively and aggressively Forbes went after the ball. And I sussed that comparison out after the coach's initial reaction to the rookies weekend was simply, Forbes is really effing good. Of course, the tape on the former Mississippi State star was spectacular. No one debates his reel was one of the best in the draft. His frame is the problem, and to be fair, in a non-contact minicamp setting, the sturdiness of the 6-foot, 166-pound body wasn't going to be tested. So we'll see come summer and fall how he answers those questions, but so far, so good. So even though it's rookie minicamp, and even though he's drawing a lot of comparisons, he's drawing some comparisons to Trevon Diggs, the Pro Bowl cornerback of the Dallas Cowboys. Look, if I'm Washington, I'm feeling a little bit better. Now, again, it's rookie minicamp. It's not an actual NFL game. We have to see him in person in order for me and Commanders fans to say Emmanuel Forbes is the real deal. But I like what I'm hearing so far. So far, I will admit I am pleased because I thought Washington with the 16th overall pick, we had a chance to draft Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback of Oregon, and I thought he was the best cornerback available outside of Devon Witherspoon. But when I hear all these things about Emmanuel Forbes, how he played in the SEC, his ball hawk skills, how he's a competitor, I feel pretty solid with what I have to look forward to if I'm Washington, because I recognize that this dude is talented. Despite the size concerns, at the end of the day, I believe as his career goes on, he will get better. And I just think Washington made a solid pick. Now, again, I got to wait and see when he actually plays an NFL game. I need to see it manifest when he's out on the football field. Yes, rookie minicamp, yeah, that sounds all well and good, but I need to see him in an actual NFL game. I hope for Washington and I hope for Emmanuel Forbes' sakes, he becomes the player that they anticipated. Because again, folks, like I said, we needed a cornerback at that position. And even though I wanted to get a tight end, I wanted to get Darnell Washington, I also understand that we must address the cornerback situation. I feel like in order to help our front line, our defensive line, we just got to add some DBs. We got to add some skilled playmakers in that position. I hope Emmanuel Forbes turns out to be a slam dunk. That's what I hope. Next, I want to talk about Brian Davis's company. I'm reading an article here from Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk, NBC Sports. Brian Davis's company seeks $500 billion over failed Commanders purchase. It says right here, AJ Perez of Front Office Sports.com reports that Davis's company, Urban Echo Energy, seeks $500 billion in damages from Bank of America in the lawsuit filed over the alleged failure of Bank of America to communicate a $7.1 billion offer to Commanders owner Dan Snyder. In most civil cases, a specific figure is not required in the opening complaint. Damages will be determined through the proceedings. Usually when a dollar amount is demanded, especially a high one, it's for publicity purposes, and a $500 billion demand will generate plenty of publicity. The more relevant number for now is $5 billion. That's the amount of the bank draft that allegedly was tendered to Bank of America by Urban Echo. As noted by sports betting attorney Daniel Wallach, the $5 billion apparently comes from the estate of Severino Garcia's station Romana, and also is noted by Wallach, research regarding the estate of Severino Garcia's station Romana quickly leads to, quote, incredible tale of large quantities of gold illegally acquired by former Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos from a CIA operative. So, it looks really tricky to me, folks, about the situation, the $500 billion. I don't really know exactly like all the details, but it just seems to me, man, more legal issues regarding Washington. I just feel like for Washington, we can't catch a break with legal issues. And like I said before, folks, about Daniel Snyder, I know it sounds like a broken record, but I said before, folks, he had to be let go as an owner. I just think he's too incompetent as far as building a team and too many legal issues. It's just again and again and again and again and again. All these issues that has transpired under Daniel Snyder's ownership. So I like I said, I'm glad that he's no longer the owner of the Washington Commanders. We still have a lot of work to do in order to turn around the organization, turn around the franchise, in order for us to make it an attractive commodity. Because at this point, folks, let's just be honest. Washington is just a clown show, a shit show, an embarrassment, an epic disgrace of an organization currently as we are speaking. So when I hear these news and all these legal issues, it goes to show you just how pathetic Washington has been under the Daniel Snyder ownership. That's it. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. Anyway, folks, it's your boy Sports PSP. I will try to come up with as much more content regarding the Washington Commanders. I want to thank everyone for taking their time listening to the podcast. I hope everyone is enjoying a fantastic day. Whether you're at home, whether you're out on the beach or the park, whatever, make sure you're just having a good time with friends, family, or whoever. It's your boy Sports PSP. I'll come up again with more content regarding the Washington Commanders. Love y'all. And of course, God bless.